Mrs. Harminder Sethi. She has also been awarded Most Acclaimed Overseas Education Consultant Award for the year 2023, and that's a title that actually reflects her dedication in building and helping the students to grow a global career through good and effective communication and confidence. Hello ma'am, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
So please go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Harminder Sethi, the Academics Director of English Zone. I've been into teaching from last 25 years. Teaching was a passion for me when I joined teaching, and then I had a dream to become an entrepreneur, and here I am, what I'm doing right now. And along with that, to enhance my teaching, I am a British Council oral examiner with Cambridge Press, and day to day what I try to do is keep on updating myself.
Lots of skills, that's quite impressive.
Thank you.
You came from a teaching background and then switching into something like entrepreneur. So how does it come from?
I think it came directly from my teaching experience because I never wanted to die as a teacher. That was the dream I had in my mind. So being connected to the children, this idea came through my husband's ideas that let's start with, it was a tuition center, then I started with doing IELTS and PT, then parents started coming to us directly that they wanted us to go ahead and settling them abroad, and this is how my immigration business started.
So you have given like 22 years into the teaching. So what do you see yourself now? As a teacher or as an entrepreneur or as a leader? What do you see?
As an entrepreneur and a leader.
Okay.
But I never wanted to leave teaching.
Yeah.
So on and off, I keep on involving myself where I talk to the students and talk to the children, and basically I always tell them how to enhance their communication skills, because that is what is required right now to settle down in life.
You know, when we change a phase, like coming from a teaching background and then settling into something like leadership, what challenges did it bring along with it?
A lot of challenges. The first thing was the mindset that teaching experience or into teaching was a very comfortable job. Getting up in the morning, going to the school, coming back around 2 o'clock, then having a nap in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes. And then going for tuitions, just a 2-hour tuition, that was it. But coming into a business background and running your own business, that brings a lot of challenges. Where obviously I had to finish my nap off, cut off that. And then bringing in new people to work under me, because the way I wanted to rise, obviously I wanted a team. I couldn't do everything all alone. So these were the little bit challenges which I had to face, but I never stepped back because I always had my family behind my back. Whether it was my in-laws, whether my husband, whether my parents, my dad was the supporting behind my back, because this business when I started, it was everything new for us. So yes, the whole family was behind it.
Okay, so like a full family oriented thing it was, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did you find any sort of obstacles with it, like convincing somebody who was just not ready for you to step back from your comfort zone of teaching and then getting into a leadership like role?
The kind of question which you asked was, right, you know, basically from the teaching thing.
Yeah.
When I resigned from my job, it was not accepted.
Okay, it was not accepted.
because when I was into teaching, I did a lot of work other than teaching. I used to create newsletters.
Okay.
I was into connecting programs where I used to take children abroad to UK for a student exchange program. Then I involved teachers. So I had a lot of the back end thing from the school. So it was very difficult for me to resign. So my management was unhappy with that because they never wanted me to do that. That was the biggest obstacle, first one.
Yeah.
And then yes, management was very supportive because the very first thing I told them was, I don't want to die as a teacher. But whenever you call me, I'm always there. So, we keep on having those fate and sessions in the schools. I'm always, the first call I get is from my school behind my back. That yes ma'am, we want you. We want your stall here. And I'm always there. So the kind of rapport which I had with my management is still there. So that was the first obstacle when I started my business, that entrepreneur. Because you asked me about from teaching, how did I come into this?
Yeah.
So that was the first obstacle.
So when you come and work with institutions like Cambridge and British Council, what new experience does it bring to you?
meeting different people, because I have traveled complete India now. Because being an examiner, wherever you are, sent for the examination, so they are the ones who take care of you right from picking you up from the home, wherever we reach, meeting different kind of people, meeting different kind of students. So now what I can tell you is the kind of children in Punjab are totally different when I go to Kerala or Hyderabad or Bangalore, or the students who are in Delhi, or when I meet students in Chandigarh. So I have seen all those different kind of variety of students, the way they speak, the way they think, and the way they bring out their answers. So that is a complete new outlook which I came to know when I joined this as a speaking examiner.
Tell us about your journey, with how you improved over the years in settling into this career.
Learning.
Yeah.
Learning and learning.
Okay.
And hard work also,
Yeah.
because every year, every month, every second, there are lots of changes happening in different countries, because as you know, I'm into immigration business.
Yeah.
I look after study visa. So children are just, a lay child or lay man when they come to us. They have no idea where they want to go. They have no idea what they want to do in future. So they are totally dependent on us. So that is how we keep, we need to keep on evolving and learning new things, what's happening, so that we can give them a good career, because they depend on us.
Okay. So tell us something about English Zone. How did it start, and what is it giving to the students and their parents now?
It started as a tuition center, and I used to go only for 2 hours.
In which year?
It was in 2015.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah, 2015. So I just used to go for 2 hours, and I had hired staff who used to look after that. And then slowly I started into going for IELTS and PT, but I never left my job because it was scary doing a business, sudden into a new business, and I leave my settled job. So around 2019, I decided I need to quit, because slowly it had started booming. So my husband was always there behind my back to support me. And 2019, I came full-fledged into this business. And English Zone is not only, we do not only just settle give them the options or sending them to the universities, but even after that, when they reach whatever they require, whatever help can be given, we do that. And I don't think I have seen any kind of immigration center people that when they go on their own to the country to visit, they go and meet students. They don't do that. But I make it a point, wherever I have sent students, if I visit the country, I go and meet them. So the kind of love and the respect which they shower on us, it can be seen through our English Zone page and the reviews which you see there. And I think this is all because of the transparency and the work which we are doing. So we get students through recommendations. It's not only through digital marketing or stuff like that.
So is it something that differentiates you from other immigration centers too?
Yes.
Is it like
Yes.
the relationship you share?
The relationship which we share, or the bonding which we share with the students. So that is what we hear from others also, that immigration people are least bothered.
Yeah.
They just send them, get the visa, and it's done. But it's nothing like that. Like while I was talking to you earlier,
Yeah.
last night, I still, Prerna Singh, I'm taking her name.
Yeah.
She was from DAV, and from the commerce, she was the president of BCom,
Oh.
the one whom I sent. And last night she sent me her photographs of her graduation ceremony and sending me a sweet message, thank you ma'am for everything, whatever you've done. So this is the kind of bond I think which we have created with the students.
And how do you feel when they come and they revert the gratitude to you, the love we have given to them? What does it make you feel?
Top of the world.
Yeah. What do you see as the most common misconception about English, or going to the IELTS center or immigration?
The misconception is children feel that if they are not from a good, academic background or a good school which they feel, they are unable to speak English. उन्हें English नहीं आती या वो English सीख नहीं सकते. That's the misconception. ऐसा नहीं होता. If you work, if you keep working on your language or if you keep working on your skills, आप कोई ना कोई language को जरूर master कर सकते हो. तो ये misconception हर बच्चे में होता है. जब हमारे पास बच्चे आते हैं, वो हमें यही बोलते हैं, मैम हमें English बोलनी नहीं आती. ठीक है, बट कुछ बच्चे क्या करते हैं, 2 महीने में सीख लेते हैं, कुछ 3 महीने में सीख लेते हैं, और some some students take 4 months, but they will learn. They will, they'll start communicating. But वो push-up की जरूरत पड़ती है उनको. वो push-up के लिए जब बच्चे हमारे पास आते हैं, that is what we do. Trying to push them up, trying to build their confidence. We keep on having, small competitions amongst them. And we give them rewards and awards and the certification. Whatever they speak, we try to boost them up. This is how their confidence increases.
That's interesting. You and me, we both come from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, right? And there are many of the students who are coming from Tier 3 and Tier 2 cities. What is a piece of advice that you would like to give them, because they come from a Hindi medium background, or a background that they doesn't feel confidence or boost up to come ahead and speak or lead in a way? What is your piece of advice for them?
I always tell them that you need to break from your you need to come out of your comfort zone, crack that nutshell where you feel that you cannot do anything, and if you step in front, everybody is there to help you. And teachers are there because they are the ones who are going to push you up and bring you to that scale wherever they want to go. But they need to step out first. If they step out, we hold their hands.
Where do you see yourself and English Zone in next 5 years?
I see myself to a place where most of the students still keep coming to me without any fear, and भरोसा करके हमारे पास आए और आते रहें.
It was such a great experience to have you on this show, and we wish to have such more experiences. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhumika. Thank you so much, and thank you to the complete team. Thank you so much.